What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of KozMatt's Wrestling Recap. Let's get right into a pretty entertaining episode of Monday Night Raw, one that saw a new champion, Matt. What did you think of the show?
I kind of dozed off mid-show. It was a good show, though. I mean, towards the end, it kind of got a little bit crazy. It was a great show. A new champion, United States champion, matter of fact. I'm super psyched about that. We'll get right into that, but we're all opening up with Seth Rollins talking about his upcoming rematch, of course, against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania Backlash. Cody Rhodes kind of upstaging Rollins with crowd reaction and stuff like that. I really dig these two in the ring. Seth Rollins eventually daring Cody Rhodes to face an unknown opponent in the main event. If he thought, it was so easy being Seth Rollins and being the American Nightmare, and he actually accepts and challenges immediately. So we're going to find out later who his main event opponent is tonight, but it was a solid match. Moving forward, Naomi and Sasha Banks versus Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, the women's tag team titles on the line. This match is all right. It could have used a little bit longer than what we saw, but it felt like the commercial break in the middle was as long as the wrestling that took place before and after it. But the teams had chemistry, but I think this is the last time we will see them together. Ripley and Morgan got into an argument that ended with Rhea hitting her former partner, Liv Morgan, with the riptide, but the heel turn is now complete and Ripley can go back to focusing on being a single star. So I think we finally are treated to Rhea Ripley put back in singles action. It just doesn't work with tag team action with her. It really doesn't.
Yeah, man, she's better off as a heel. I think she's going to join that Edge faction like we've all been waiting for, and I think this was the first step to it. So I love to see it.
I did too. Let's talk about somebody misusing their power. Sonya Deville coming to the ring, giving a promo, addressing the accusations that she is misusing her power as an official, talking about how she had always been a competitor and she was just taking the opportunity she saw in front of her. And Bianca Belair making her way down to the ring, offering to defend the title right then and there, almost hitting Deville with the KOD, but she actually threatened to fine and strip her of the title if she did so. And the EST put her down and left. But both women were good in the segment. It kind of accomplished nothing, dude, but it kind of reminded us that the feud is still there. Sonya is still hot over Bianca Belair, which could have been with a video or quick backstage interaction. But meanwhile, they just, did a quick altercation in the ring. But you know what? I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I'm okay with it too. I think this is kind of a filler match for Bianca Belair. I don't really see Sonya taking the championship offer. You know what? Bianca Belair needs some competition, so why not Sonya Deville?
Absolutely. Moving next, the KO show. Kevin Owens inviting Ezekiel, convincing him with the lie detector test. Chad Gable was also present to oversee this testing. Ezekiel coming out.
This was hilarious.
It was great. It really was great with the catchphrase now, who wants to hear Zeke speak instead of WWE stands or walk with Elias. The crowd was into it. The KO show portion of this, it was funny, kept the storyline going, and the match that followed was more competitive than expected. But I think, and obviously the truth came out. Ezekiel is actually Ezekiel, Elias's brother, and Kevin Owens was kind of stunned about this. Like, wow, it's really true.
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. This really reminded me that Ezekiel, Elias, whatever you want to call him, is excellent in the ring. But I must say, Kevin Owens needs a title, man, for the work that he's putting in. He just is like a main event superstar, and he deserves to be treated as one.
For sure. Absolutely. Especially being treated as main event superstars. Let's talk about the Street Profits taking on RK Bro. The Usos actually head down mid-match, causing a distraction for taking advantage of the distraction, knocking Viper off their apron, and Dawkins hit Riddle with their finisher for a surprising win. So you know what? Are we going to see like some type of heel action with the Street Profits? I don't know, but you know what? It was good to see the Street Profits take a win on Raw. Didn't really make RK Bro look too weak because the Usos did distract them, but I think it was a much needed win for the Street Profits.
Yeah, dude, I don't think I could ever get tired of seeing these guys go in action against each other. These tag teams are the top in WWE, and they certainly put on a show every night.
For sure. I mean, I think everybody's happy with how the show is going thus far until next Finn Balor versus Austin Theory.
Oh, man, I didn't see this coming. I really didn't.
It was a good match. That's all that mattered. But Austin Theory capturing the United States Championship, I think the crowd, they were feeling it for him until what WWE really screwed up on is a bunch of mid-card heels. Like even Aziz came out to lift Austin Theory up on the show.
Yeah, that made no sense. It really didn't.
And then why would you put heels? You're supposed to make them like, it just completely disregards what a heel is in WWE, and then Vince McMahon coming out congratulating him, Theory taking a selfie with him on top of the stage. But I don't know, man. I don't know why they're doing this to him. Like, do it with faces, don't do it with heels, because heels, it just completely takes away from their character. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, dude, absolutely. This kind of took away from Austin Theory's win. I didn't really like seeing it. I didn't really get the point, like you said. But we'll have to see what Austin Theory does with this U.S. Championship.
For sure. So let's talk about the double wedding. They
Oh
call it
boy.
the double
Oh
wedding of the
my God.
decade. Art. So let's just go right through it. R-Truth was out to officiate the double wedding of Akira Tozawa and Tamina, and then Reginald and Dana Brooke with a bunch of other stars in the ring. Everybody was dressed up nice. All four people read their vows. Tamina just said what she said after Dana Brooke said something nice about Reginald. Truce asked if there were any objections. The fans started booing. Reggie and Tozawa switched places for some reason. Then she changed her mind and made the men stand back together. And then the women stood together like they were going to get married.
It was a mess. It really was.
Truth finished the ceremony. Everybody kissed, whatever, all back to normal. Reginald then pinned Brooke to win the 24/7 title. Shocker. Tamina super kicked him and won it herself before Tozawa rolled her up to win it. Another shocker. Before Brooke won it back. Before she then took Truth off to the back. So it was Truth and Dana Brooke running towards the back after all this madness. So not really sure the point of the wedding, but you know what? It was very, very entertaining. And R-Truth was the only reason that made it fun, to be honest with you. If they didn't have R-Truth in this, it would have been a complete blow.
Dude, I want to see R-Truth like in the U.S. Championship picture, man. He deserves it. He's just a comedy genius. But I have to ask you, Matt, you think they'll be living happily ever after?
I don't think so.
Oh boy.
Oh man, let's head to our main event already. Cody Rhodes on an opponent that he chooses, and it's Kevin Owens.
Oh, dude, I was here for this, man. This
be
stole
Rollins'
the show.
handpicked opponent for Rhodes. This was a great performance to close out Raw. It looked like the prize fighter was going to be counted out. Rollins yelled at him to get his ass back in the ring. Of course, Rollins was ringside. That's how you build up steam towards the pay-per-view. Kevin Owens told him to deal with his own problems and then walked away to get counted out, making Rhodes the winner. Now, at least we got a good match out of this. If we didn't and it was just a blow, I would have been pissed. But the show ended with Seth Rollins rocking Cody Rhodes from the middle turnbuckle to the floor as he was trying to celebrate. But the ending was kind of weird, but everything leading up to it was quality wrestling. And you know what? I think that's what really matters with the show tonight. And I think it just sold last night. And no complaints, besides the wedding shit show. I think everything else was kind of smooth. Seth Rollins, I see their slow build up. You can't make Cody look so strong. You got to make Seth look strong, but I think we know who's going to take the W at WrestleMania Backlash.
Oh, dude, if this is the matches that Cody Rhodes is going to be putting on night after night, I can see why WWE wanted to re-sign him. He really is a main event superstar. And I think him working with Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins is just perfect for his way back in WWE towards that championship picture.
I think so. I'm excited to see what unfolds with that. And I think Cody Rhodes, he wants what's going to work out and what's best. And I think Vince really does know that. But that was Raw. It was pretty quick. I'm stoked for WrestleMania Backlash. I guess they're hyping it up pretty well. So let's see. And then SummerSlam is in the rear view as well. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, man, we got some big things coming up for WWE. Some returning superstars. I heard maybe John Cena, others. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Let us know what you guys thought about the show. Always like, comment, and subscribe. And Matthew and I will see you Saturday for a SmackDown recap. Peace out.
You said it. Peace out.
Come on and fight.